Life insurance, stripped down to its bare essentials, basically means that somebody puts in a small premium. Any problem happens, you get a big payout. And depending on what kind of product you select, if nothing bad happens over a certain number of years, you get your money back. And that's what I tell people. Very often, customers may want to say things like, you're from XX company, right? Well, I've got friends who are in YY company. Okay, so what makes you different? Or why should I believe you? Why should I listen to you? We go down this thing called a product comparison route or things like that. And I just tell them, look, let's face it, Singapore is a very small island. Okay, it's a very competitive place. Most of the time, if you take a product from a reputable carrier, most features are roughly about the same. Just a few bells and whistles here and there. But let's not detract from why we are here today, Mr. Prospect. We are here today because you have a risk hanging over your head. It's the risk of premature death, critical illness, accidental issues, or in the evergreen words of, I think it should be Tony Gordon, dying too soon, living too long, and anything in between. So, well, like it or not, we can choose to solve the problems today, or I can walk out of the room, but you still have the problem. So I explained to them the concept of life insurance, what it's all about. In my early years, when I spoke to doctors, a lot of doctors they said they didn't want to buy any insurance. The main reason for that was that in Singapore there is an unspoken code. Doctors will treat doctors for free. Okay, and that always pops out. Chi Teng, I don't need insurance because my friend is going to be treating me for free, and so on and so forth. So what for? But I think it's important to emphasize to the doctor his income earning ability, right? And to let him know that actually it's not just about the treatment. It's about the consequences that happen while you're being treated. And of course, I'll probably ask him some questions like, can you foresee your clinic functioning without you being there for 3 months, 6 months? Sometimes I might ask, Dr. Tan, just out of curiosity, can you tell me what's written on the signboard just outside this clinic? What's the name of this clinic? Most of the time it's what, Dr. So-and-so or something. Why is it not some other name? It's because of you, right? So imagine if you're not able to be doing what you're supposed to be doing for the next 6 months or a year, what's going to happen? Are there bills that need to be paid? Children that need to be fed? Stuff like that. So just make sure that they understand that life doesn't stop with them. I'm more interested to understand a person, to know what motivates them, what's important to them, and once you know what's important to a person, normally the rest all falls into place. When it comes to being able to know what the person wants, again, it's about putting yourself in a person's shoe. Okay, so I'll give you an example. If I were to meet a person who had a very low income, let's just say this person was earning something like $1,500 a month, then I would more or less anticipate this person to say things like, I've got no money, man. I mean, I'm chock-a-block full of insurance, I've got bills to pay, no budget for you, right? Because you're referred to me by so-and-so, I gave that person face, right? But really, you're wasting your time. And I understand, because in Singapore, cost of living is high, right? And I tell him that. I tell him, well, you're not wrong, Actually, due to these things, you're right. Life is tough. But I've got a very interesting question for you. Is life tougher with you around or without you around? And I just smile and just keep quiet. And of course, 10 out of 10 will say, well, of course, if I'm not around, life's going to be tougher. And I'll just ask, for whom? Well, for my wife, my kids, yes. But today is your lucky day, Mr. Prospect, because I'm here. And we can do something about it. But the decision is yours. This is for somebody who doesn't have much money. For somebody who's more well-to-do, then I will understand that possibly there are a lot of people pitching to him. I'm competing against bankers, property agents, car salesmen, right? I mean, anybody who's asking him for money. Yep, and I understand that. Right? So the question is, what makes me different from the rest? Someone from MDRT did say, I think it should be Tony Gordon. He said that life insurance was never meant to be a great investment, right? But it's the best investment when you need the money the most. And that's what we specialize in. While you're rich and famous and doing well, you're probably going to derive more pleasure from all the other vendors that I have mentioned, the banker, the car salesman, the property agent, right? But the question is this: who's going to be there to pay all those bills? None of the above, It's the insurance guy and his proceeds. So that's our function. So these are examples of how I boil down complex things into simple solutions.